Okay, good evening. So today's class I will discuss about features of python features of python and also different implementations of python implementations, or we can say that as a flavors also, implementations of python, or we can call it as a flavors. Okay, or you can say anyway, right? Next one, I will enter into our programming language today. So here we can also discuss, okay, after features I will discuss about disadvantages also, disadvantages of python. Okay, after completing these things I will go for language, is comments. Next I will discuss about identifiers, or before going to identifiers I will discuss some other basic things. Okay, right. Anyway, mainly we are going to discuss about these four things, and also I will discuss about indentation. Okay, indentation. So these are the main topics we are going to discuss today. First, let us see about features of python. So in previous classes we have seen what are the different applications where we are going to use this python, and also we have seen about what can we say, uh, some of the companies. Okay, so today we are going to say about features. That means what is the feature, and how the features of python are there. First one, the people who thinks to start a programming language, generally nowadays the recommended language is python. Why they are recommending python language means, first thing they are saying is simple and easy to learn. Simple and easy to learn. Okay, right. So I will give you the explanation why we are saying python as a simple and easy to learn. So generally, one small example I will take here. So I will give you two numbers. So let us take two numbers as 10 and 20. So I want to find the greatest of two numbers. Generally, if I have given you two numbers 10 and 20, I ask you which one is greater, then what you will take, how you are going to tell 20 is greater. First you will think that first I have to compare 10 and 20. Otherwise I will take a equal to, for better understanding I will take a equal to 20 and b equal to, sorry, a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Now I have given you these two values. I have asked you that whether a is greater than b, otherwise which one is greater, a or b. Then what you will say, so if the value of a is greater than b, then I can say a is greater. Otherwise, if the value of b is greater than a, then I can say that b is greater. So in the same, the words which I have used now I will use in python language. See what I am going to say. I am going to take two values, a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Now I have given these two values to you. Then you have to compare what, if a is greater than b. Okay, you are going to compare it. If a is greater than b, what I have to tell, so I have to tell that a is larger or greater, a is greater than b. Otherwise what I have to say, else case, else print what, I have to tell that b is greater than a, b is greater than a. Okay, see, it's a it looks like what, it's a general english language. I have given you two numbers, I asked you to compare those two numbers and tell me a greater than, which one is greater. What you are saying, you are going to compare, if a value is greater than b, you will say that a is greater in general language. So if a greater than 0, I am telling what, a is greater than b, sorry, a is greater than b. If else case what, if it is not the case, automatically what happens, b is greater than a. So see, I will save this one. So normally whatever the language, general english language we are using here. Okay, so see, just I am going to execute this one. Okay, I will take here for example. Okay, so see, what is the answer, b is greater than a. That means what here, we are going to say that it is also general language. Just whatever the language we are speaking, in the same way the programming language also will be there. So it will be very easy to learn. Okay, and it is very simple. Why I am going to say it is very simple means, so if I want to learn a language called as English, for example, in English language we are having how many alphabets? A to Z. That means 26 alphabets are there. So it is easy to learn. If we go to some other language, some more alphabets are there. So in the same way, if you are going for a programming language, for example, Java, there are keywords more than 50. Okay, that is what keywords, how many are there in Java? Greater than, more than 50 are there. If we consider now in our Python, we are having only 35 keywords. In Python, how many are there? 35 keywords are there. So if you understand these 35 keywords, it is easy to perform this programming language. When compared to other programming language, here we are having what? Less number of keywords. If you understand about those keywords, it is easy to learn the Python. So we are saying that it is a simple programming language. So when compared to other programming language like C, C++ and C hash, Python is going to be simple to learn, because when compared to other programming language, here the syntaxes are easy. So if I want to print, for example, if I want to print something in Java, what I have to take? System dot out dot print, for example. In this way, I have to print. So if you want to understand what is meant by this system, what is meant by out, and what is meant by print, it takes so much time to you. So I have to explain about system is a class. It is present in a lang package, and what are the properties in it. Then what is meant by out, and what is the relationship between out and print. These many things has to be learned if you want to print one statement in our Java. But if we consider the same statement in Python, just English language, just print what? I'm telling what, just to print hi, enough. So when compared to Java and Python, for example here, so see, compare these two statements, which one is easy? Second one is easy. So the second statement tells what? Just print. What I have to print? Hi. But in first statement in Java, I should know about what is meant by system, what is meant by out, what is meant by print. So in Java, if I want to explain this statement, it nearly takes 15 minutes to understand. But in Python, if I want to tell about print statement, it will not take at least 10 seconds to understand. So print is a function which helps to print something completed. But it is not the case in Java or in any other programming languages. Okay, right. So this is the reason why I am saying Python is simple and easy to learn. Okay, next, this is the first feature of our Python. Next I will go to second one. Okay, yes, this is the first one. Now second one is, it is a open source. We can say it as a open source and free. What is meant by open source means I will explain you. So open source means, here if you want to do any new thing, it is open to all. Open source is nothing but it is open to all. If you want to create anything new in a Python, we are having the option to do that. Okay, so it is we can call it as a open source. Then what is meant by free? So already we have downloaded Python freely. It is not having any cost. It is easy to download Python. It is free to download. There is no need of paying anything for license. Okay, it is a freeware. Okay, we can call it as a freeware and open source. Open source means what? If you want to develop any new things in our Python programming language, we can do it. We can create it. Okay, and we can contribute our own code to the Python. Let us consider one small example. I want to create a function called as a special operation called as fix. For example, I'm taking some operation called as fix. So fix is one function I want to create, and I want to give this fix function to our Python program. I can do it, no problem. In other programming languages, for example C or C++, there is no chance of inserting our programs into the C or C++. But nowadays every programming language is going to become open source. Reason is what? Anyone can contribute. So our Python is also what? Open source. That means anyone can write the code and we can contribute our code to Python. So from next time onwards, after contribution, if anybody want to use your Python code, they can also use it. Then what is meant by free? It's a freeware. That means what? If you want to download a Python, there is no need of paying anything. That means there is no need of any licenses, or there is no need of paying any amount to this Python software or Python programming language. So this is the second one. And third one is what? Already we have discussed this point in previous sessions. High level language. Okay, Python is what? High level programming language. Here one thing I have to tell, basically what is meant by high, basically I am telling that basically what is meant by high level language means high level programming language is nothing but, okay, so for example, let us consider if I want to talk with some language called as 1010, for example, how many times, if here how many different digits are there? Only 2 digits. So if the 2 digits are going to be repeatedly those are coming, if the same thing is going to come, I cannot remember those things. So this is called, this type of languages can be called as what? Machine language. So what is the need of knowing the machine language means? If you want to communicate with what? A system. So system can understand which language? Only low level language. But if I want to learn a low level language, it is very difficult to learn. So that we cannot learn the low level language. So better if we go for high level language. If we go for high level language, it is easy to learn. Okay. So that we can consider in one way that high level programming language means which is easy to understand for the programmer. For example, our statements. So see, if we consider our programming code, that if, for example, if A, otherwise, okay, for example, if A greater than B, so anyone can understand this language. It is easy to understand. When compared to this statement, this language, so it is very easy to understand. Okay, so we can call it it as a what? High level language. This is the one of the reason, or we can also say that it is a friendly language which is easy to understand by the programmer. Next, one more statement I will say about this high level programming language is, listen carefully. Before going to that, I will take one small example for that, so that you can remember what is meant by high level. So now see here, if we consider, okay, see, if I'm going to consider one ATM, okay, here in this ATM, for example, we are having many options. Okay, many options are there. For example, first one is what we can say withdraw, and second one is what we can say change pin, and some other options are there here. Now I want to withdraw, let us consider this is what? Withdraw. I want to withdraw a money. So just I will go to ATM and I'm going to insert the card, and just I'm going to click on what? Withdraw. So automatically it will ask for what amount, how much amount you want to take, it will ask to enter. So after entering the, for example, I want 15,000 to be withdrawn. So just I will place 1500 and I'm going to press OK. Otherwise, I'm going to, for example, I'm going to enter password and I'm going to press what? Enter or OK. So next what happens? Automatically, I'm going to get what? Money. In my hand, I'm going to have what? Money. Here, one thing you have to observe is, if the same thing is done by a engineer, for example, educated person, or a student who is studying, or a farmer, or any other people who are going to withdraw the money, these are the steps they have to do. Here one thing you have to observe is what? Is it easy or not? It is easy, because all here are high level. Okay, these are not low level things, these are what? High level things. Now I will tell you what is meant by high level. So if I want to take, for example, this is the normal way of withdrawing the money from the ATM. For example, if I want to, this concept is not there, high level concept is not there. If I want to withdraw a money, for example, the backend of this ATM or bank server is written with some programming language called as some Java. For example, I'm taking Java. So that what happens? To withdraw money, if I want to execute a program, for example, for example, engineer can execute that program so that he will get a money. Can the student can execute that that program, or a farmer or any other layman can execute that program? Did he know any language? Don't know. That means what? If we go into depth, or into that means what? If we want to execute this type of programs, it is not such easy to understand. so that if you are going for high level activities, so it will be very easy to understand by the programmer. That means if we are going for example, if you are going to one I will take one example for that. In our memory management, who is going to see memory management in our computer? Generally our operating system. Okay, generally who? Our operating system. So if you want to allocate any memory in our Python, for example in Python, if we want to allocate a memory for a equal to 10, who is going to allocate memory for this a? Who is going to allocate? Automatically our Python interpreter is going to take the responsibility. Okay, your Python interpreter is going to take responsibility. Am I going to internally, am I going to dig the memory and I'm going to allocate the memory to a? No, I'm not going to see the low level activities. Just I'm going to write a statement called as what? This is what a equal to 10. That's it. After writing this one, internal things, low level things will be taken care by our Python. This is also one reason I can tell. Or this is not only memory management, you can also go for many things, security or any other managements. Everything will be taken care by our programming language. So that I can tell that our Python programming language is what? High level. But maximum people will discuss only about this point. Okay, about this high level and which is easy to understand, and machine level means zeros and ones. Okay, you should also remember about some of the activities like memory management. Okay, and also we can consider security. These activities we are not going to take care. Our programming is, our Python is going to take care. Okay, anyway, this is one of the feature. Next, if we are going to consider very important two things I am going to discuss now. Many people know these words, but they are going to confuse every time. But now I am going to clarify those things. One is platform independent, very important word. After writing these two, I will explain. Okay, portable. Many people will have what we can say confusion between these two. Okay, so that I will take one example here. Okay, right now see. So here, first I will discuss about what I can say platform independent. So already we know what is meant by platform independent. In previous sessions we have seen. Once again I will discuss. So if you are going to take two operating systems, I will take, okay, not only two, three systems I am going to take. First one is I can say Windows operating system, for example, and second one is I will take Linux operating system, and here I am going to take some other Unix operating system. So I am discussing about what I can say a platform independent. So if I am going to write a program in Windows, for example, here I am going to take program name as a.py. The program is written in where? Windows operating system. The same thing can be executed in Linux operating system and also in Unix operating system. So that means what? Here this a.py is not only dependent on this Windows operating system, or not only operating system, we can also consider processor also, or some interpreters also. So a.py is developed in Windows processor, Windows operating system, and some other processor, for example i4 or something, sorry, i3 or i5. So the same code is going to be sent to Linux. Here it is what? The platform is different. For example, better example, real-time example I will tell you. You know that Savitri is there, or you can call him as a Mahanati. Okay, Savitri is going to act in Telugu, and also she is going to act in Tamil. She has acted in Tamil, and also in Hindi, and also in many other languages. That means what? Here one is going to execute anywhere in Telugu, in Tamil, and also in Hindi. That means what? She can be called as what? Platform independent. That means what? Some people are there. For example, I will say, for example, it is not correct. For example, I am telling Brahmanandam. For example, Brahmanandam. Generally, he is a comedian in only Telugu. For example, he is not acting in any other movies, but he has acted. For example, I am going to take, he has not acted. That means what? This particular person is dependent on this Telugu industry. Okay, but when you are going to consider this Savitri, she is not a dependent on any industry. He is going to act in different platforms. So we can call her as a platform independent. We can call this particular Brahmanandam as a platform dependent. That means what? If he is going to act in Tamil, he cannot act. because he knows only Telugu, for example. He cannot act in Hindi because he don't know Hindi. That means what? This Brahmanandam is dependent on Telugu. But when we compare to Savitri, she can act in what? Telugu, Tamil, and also Hindi. So we can call this Savitri as what? Platform independent. So if we consider C, for example, it is platform dependent. Okay. If we consider Java, it is platform independent. Already we have discussed why these are called as platform independent and all those things. If we consider Python also, it is what? Platform independent. That means what? If we are going to write a Python program in one type of platform, we can also execute the same code in different type of platforms. Then only that language can called as what? Platform independent. Now I will discuss about portability. Remember this point. So here what we can say, writing once. Okay. Okay, writing once and executing anywhere, this concept is called as what? Platform independent. Remember this word, writing once, executing anywhere. Okay, right, this is called as platform independent. Now I'm talking about portability. So our Python is what? Platform independent language. Now let us talk about portability. Portability means, 1 minute, sorry. Portable. Okay, so generally everyone who is listening this class, not only we, everyone nowadays is having what? One mobile. Okay, everyone is having a mobile. So for example, my case I am going to take till from 2005 onwards till 2019 I have used Airtel. Okay, but in 2000, from 2018 onwards, I am not much interested on this Airtel, because what we can say, network is very less in those 18-19. So that I have converted my network to BSNL. Okay, I thought that BSNL will have more speed in internet, but after taking BSNL I understood that it is also slow. What can I do? What here I have done, here I am going to port, that is called as portable. So you will say I will port my number. See, you have listened this word many times. Port is nothing but what? Portable. Here what I am doing, I am going to port my mobile number from which to which? Airtel to BSNL. That means I am going to migrate from Airtel to BSNL. Here we have to understand one thing, that I am changing from one network to another network. Is my number is going to be changed? My number is not going to be changed. My number in Airtel is same, my number in now in BSNL is also same number. That means what? This portability is nothing but if we are going from one system to another system, or one platform to another platform, if for execution, if you are not going to add any other features for execution, that is called as portability. For example, here I will take now example of Windows. Okay, here I am going to take Windows operating system. Here I am going to take some Linux operating system. Here I have written some code. For example, I have written some code. The same code is going to be sent to Linux, and executing here is called as what? Platform independent. And now what I am saying, for executing this code in Linux, there is no need of any changes. There is no need of any changes. That is called as what? Portable or portability. Okay, that means what? Here mobile number is same, but network is going to be changed, Airtel to BSNL. What I have done here, I have ported from one to another. So changing from one to another without migrating from one to another without changing any mobile number, that is called as what? Portable or porting. Here changing the code from one system to another system without having any changes is called as what? portable. So our Python code, if I write one place, if I send the same code to another system for execution of that code, no need of having any changes or additional things are not required. Just whatever the code I have sent from Windows, it can be executed directly in Linux also. But if we consider some other cases, some other programming languages, what happens means, if we consider, for example, here, if I consider a C language, for example, if I am going to send the C code to some other system, which is, this is Windows system, this is Linux system. Here I have to change some code, some modifications I have to do to execute that program. Reason is what? I will give you a clear example. For example, here in our Windows, in some compiler, I'm going to take int as 2 bytes. But in Linux, in one compiler, the size is 4 bytes. Okay, I'm going to take, okay, I'll clear this one. Okay, so now see, for clear understand, I will explain you. So I am taking one C program. Okay, here this system is Linux system and this system is Windows system. Here I am going to take int a equal to some large number 356298. Here in Windows, same program has sent here. Okay, but in Windows I am using one compiler which is having the size of int as 2. Here the size of int as 4 bytes. Now listen one thing, that here the range is what, some 32,565 or something will be there here. But what is the value I can store here? Here in Linux I can store this one because the size is what, 4 bytes. But if I send the same thing to here, what is the size of int in Windows or some compiler in Windows? 2 bytes. Okay, then can the same value can be inserted in A here? It is not possible. Reason is what? Here A is what? 2 bytes. Here A is what? 4 bytes. As int A equal to 4 bytes, I have inserted a large value. The large value cannot be accessed in int here. That means what? It is not portable, or it is not platform independent. I can say it is not a portable. So here I have to make the changes. Okay. So I have to remove this value and I have insert some other value for execution. Okay. This small example. No need of taking this example. Just if you understand what is meant by portable, it's enough. Okay, that is portable. So platform independent means what? Write once, use anywhere. Okay, or execute anywhere. Next, or run anywhere. So next, portable is what? Migrating from one system to another system without any modifications. That is called as what? Portability. Next, if I am going to consider, these are the 5 different type of features we are having. Next one, these we can keep here stars, because these are very important things. Next, if I'm going to one more important thing, that is what? Dynamically typed. Already we have seen this one in yesterday's session. Dynamically typed programming language, or Python is what? Dynamically typed programming language. So just briefly I will explain, because already I have explained in previous session. So now I will explain briefly. So if I consider a programming language like C or Java, if I write int a equal to 20, now see here, a is which type? It is integer type. If I want to change the value of a, so it is possible, it is correct in other programming languages. So if I want, so here what a can store? A is which type? Int type. So compulsory in this a value, sorry, in this variable I can store only integer types, because I told that a is what? Int type. So that I have changed the value of 20 into 30. It is valid. Reason is what? 30 is also an integer. I can store this integer in this a, no problem. Now if I try to change in Java, this is a Java program I am in. Okay, for example Java. So here 13.5. Now tell me, this 13.5 is what? It is a floating point number. Is it possible? Okay, it is not possible. Reason is what? If we want to store anything in this a, here what we can store? Only int. But it is what? It is a, by default it is a double. Okay, in Java. So double value can we store in int? It is not possible. But if I consider Python programming language, so here there is no concept of data types explicitly, but internally it will take a data type. Here explicitly we are not going to specify. So now tell me here, what is a type? I don't know. Until execution time, I don't know what is meant by A here, which type is A. But if I consider here A, before execution, I can say that A is which type? Int type. At compile time, it will decide A as int type. But now here, I am going to write what? A equal to 20. So while executing, sorry, semicolon is not there in Python. So here, while we can also place, we will see that one later. So A equal to 20. What happens here? Now A becomes what? Int type. Now it is int type. Okay. After in the same program, I am going to modify it as a 30. So it is also valid because A is int type. As here we have seen, it is also possible here. Now also A is what? Int type. But if I want to make it as a float, 13.5, it is also valid in Python because now A acts as what? Float. Now, if I want to make it as a string, I can also make it as a string. It is also correct. Now, A is which type? str type. So here, if I want to make it as a, for example, okay, boolean true, for example, it is also valid. But see here, compare this one. This is Java and this is Python. Okay, compare these two. You can clearly understand what is meant by dynamic nature. Here A is going to change its type. It can change its type. Int. Here you can, I have changed it as what? Float. Here it is what? String. But here A is going to be always int type only. So here it is what? It is before only it is decided. Statically it is what? Int type. But here dynamically the nature is going to be changed. 1 minute. Okay, right. So this is called as what? Dynamically typed. So this is the reason why we are going to call it as a dynamically typed programming language. So already we have seen in previous session. If you want the example, you can see in your previous second video. Right now, one more thing. Next feature is procedure oriented and object oriented. So already this one also was covered, but once again I want to say procedural oriented and object oriented. Okay, so what is meant by this procedural oriented and object oriented means? So for example, so if I consider our C language, okay, C language, C is only procedure oriented, procedural oriented. If I consider C++, it is both procedure oriented and object oriented. If I consider only Java, here we can have what? It is only object oriented. If I consider Python, it is having already in previous class we have seen, but now I am going to discuss only about procedural oriented and object oriented. Now generally I want to compare these two languages every time. Reason is what? Means here Java and Python is having same type of features, so I have to compare these two languages only every time. So now see, if I consider this Java language, it is which type? Object oriented programming language. That means everything should be, everything is what? An object. In Python, sorry, in C language, sorry, in Java language, that means what? If I want to write anything, everything has to be written inside a class. It is compulsory. Okay, everything has to be an object. But if I consider here Python, if we see this nature, from where I have taken this nature? From C++. If the people who know C++, if they come to Python, just there is a small syntax difference is there, but everything will be same. Because if you consider our C++, there we are having the concept of functions, and there we can see what? Member functions in C++. Okay, but in the same way, if I, these are what? In C++. If I take in Python, same thing, we are having what? We will have functions, and same here we can call them as a methods. Okay, same here member functions can also be called as methods also. So if I consider C++ and Python, we can see similarities are there. Okay, so here our Python is object, not only procedural oriented, it is also object oriented programming. We can perform, we can have both. For example, I'm telling both functions we can have, and we can write in the classes also. But in Java, if we consider, everything compulsory has to, if you are going to a small program, everything should be written inside a classes only, because it is what? Object oriented programming only. If you want to write anything outside of the class, it is not possible. So some possibilities are there, but we cannot write. We can say that we cannot write everything outside of the class. Compulsory we have to write inside the class. But in Python, it is not compulsory to write everything inside a class. We can also write outside of the class. So we can also write outside of the class. Okay. So our we can say that our Python is procedure oriented and object oriented. Next important point we have to discuss is interpreted. Okay. So what is the use of this? For example, dynamically typed programming language. So flexibility. Okay. One thing is flexibility we are having. Next, anyway, eighth point is what? Interpreted language. As we have seen already this one in yesterday's class. That is what is meant by interpreted. Interpreted means if we consider Java or C or C++. So there two steps I have to do. One is compilation and execution or interpretation. Okay, execution. Okay, right. Anyway, now if I consider only Python, in Python directly we are going to do what? We are going to execute. That means that here there is no concept of compilation. So already we know how our Python interpreter is going to work. In previous sessions we have seen that. Okay, so our what we can say, Python is interpreted language. So here only execution is there, no need of compilation explicitly. So if you want to compile explicitly, we can compile by using some modules called as py_compile and compile all modules. But generally it is if you don't want to compile, if you want to directly execute, we can execute directly. But here the compilation is compulsory and the execution is compulsory for getting the output. For getting the output in Python, just execution is necessary. It is not compulsory to have compilation. Next, ninth feature is very important here, extensible. Here I will write 2-3 things here. Extensible, and also we can say extensive library, or I can say embedded, and also 11th one is what? Extensive library. Okay, right. These three are the remaining features we are going to see now. What is meant by extensible? That means if you are going to consider extensible already, or we can say that extendable, that means listen carefully, the feature is very important. Okay, right. Now see, what is meant by extensible means extending. Okay, what is meant by extending? Already I have written some program in Java, for example. Okay, if I want to execute same thing in Python, I can bring this code into Python, and additional code I can write here and I can execute. Okay, sir, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. So if I'm talking about Java, I have to go for JPython or Jython. We will call it as a Jython. We will see the flavors also, implementations also later. Just I want to tell you what is meant by extensible. Extensible means what? Other programming languages can also be implemented in our Python. So if I am talking about Java, we are having one type of implementation of Java, that is what? Jython or JPython. In the same way, if we are going for C, we are having CPython, which is a standard version. Okay, we will see this implementation after completing these features. Okay, just you have to understand what other programming language also can be implemented in Python. That concept is called as what? Extensible, which is very important feature. Okay, next one, second one is what? Next one is what? Embedded, opposite to this one. That means what? If I want to, for example, some other programming language is there, some other, for example, devices are there. For that devices, if I want to embed my Python, for example, I'm taking, if I want to embed my Python in any of the other languages also I can include. Okay, remember that this one is what? Extensible is what? Our Python, other language code also can be implemented in our Python. What is this Embedded means our Python code can also be embedded in other languages. Okay, we will see some examples. Don't worry about these things. Okay, next, if you are going to see extensive library. So I want to tell you about this library. So if I want to perform extensive, I'm talking about extensive library. That means what? Extensive library is nothing but large library. So first you have to understand what is meant by library. What is meant by library? Generally, if you are going to consider a small library, in my home there is a small library where it contains only CSE books. Okay, nearly 100 books are there, for example. Okay, 100 books are there. Now one student came to me and asked that, sir, I need a Java book or a Python textbook. So that, can I access it? Can I give to him? Yes, I can give to that student. Otherwise, I can give to that student. So, okay. Next, some other student came to me, student 2. Okay, student 2 came to me and he is from ECE. He has asked me some EDC textbook, EDC textbook. So, can I give the textbook from my library? It is not possible because my library is what? Limited only for CSE. That means what? Only minimum number of books are there with me. But if I go to one college library, for example, where we are having all department textbooks, okay, for example, okay, and so on, many textbooks are there. So if the same student comes here, he will get the textbook from ECE department. That means what? When compared to my library and my college library, what happens here? This is what? A large library. Where can I get? For example, this is a local college, some X college, local college. When compared to this college, if I go to some Y college, which is some IIT, so when compared to this college, here the books will be what? More. In the same way, our Python language is having very huge, I can say huge library where it can give us much support, more support. If you want to perform any task, no need of writing a things on your own. Maximum things will be there in our Python library. Just you take those things and use those things. Okay. So when we go for our modules, you can understand what are the different type of modules are there. So better example, I want to give you that one small example where you can understand. I am having some PDFs, PDF1, PDF2, PDF3, and so on from PDF10 are there. Okay, some PDF10. These are the different documents I am having. How many documents are there? 10 documents are there. So for example, I am named it as PDF1, PDF2, and so on, PDF10. I want to merge these things. Listen carefully. I want to merge these things into only one PDF. That means what? This PDF has to contain how many pages? 10 pages. So is it possible? Generally, what we will do, we will go to internet and we will go to some I love PDF or some websites. Okay, there I am going to give these 10 PDFs into this site and it is going to return me merged copy of all these 10 documents. But I can write a program which is having just 10 to 20 lines. Okay, and if I give the folder name where these documents to my program, directly it is going to generate me a PDF. Just I want to tell you a small thing, general example I want to tell, so that I'm telling you. So these 10 documents can be made into one document by writing our Python program. It is very easy code. It will not take more than 10 lines, 10 to 15 lines. Okay, but generally we will do what? We will go to this some online websites and we are going to do that. We can write our own. We are having such a huge library. This is one small example, but there are many modules are there. It is a huge library. Our Python is having very extensive library. Okay, so these are the different types of features we are having in our Java. So first one is what? Simple and easy. Everyone, the people, for example, I can say that nowadays the same language is going to be in CBSE. I think they are having a 9th 10th class only about this Python. It is so simple and easy. Okay, it's very simple. Next, if you're going to, if you want to download it, it is easy. It is free to download. We are no need of having any licenses for it. Okay, and open source. If you want to contribute any code, your code, if you want to write your own code, and if you want to give it to the Python people, and if it is good and it is not there already in their Python, they will add your code to our Python. Okay, next, high level programming language. Okay, next one, platform independent. So you should understand the differences between platform independent portability. So many people will confuse between these two things. So not to forget about this platform independent, just remember that write once, execute anywhere or run anywhere. This one is what, remember mobile numbers. Okay, mobile portability, then you will not you will confusion will be gone. Next, dynamically typed. What is meant by dynamic? This is very important feature. Okay, right, procedure oriented and object oriented, interpreted, extensive. So what makes Python very popular is extensive library. Remember this point, what makes Python very popular is what, extensive library. Because let us consider, I go to a kirana shop, small kirana shop in my street. So just I asked for a thing, for example, sketch pens or marker. I have asked about a marker. So he told that, sir, I will bring it tomorrow. That means what? He is unable to, what they can say, provide my necessity. He is not going to give what I asked. Next time, will I go to the same person? No, I will not go. So that what this extensive library means, a big supermarket. Okay, think that it is a big supermarket where everything is available. If you want everything, 99% whatever you want, our library is going to provide. Just you have to do what? Take that facility and use as you want. Okay, I will buy the marker for writing. Okay, for example, I am taking one pen for writing. Some other people will do what? I am taking for writing. I have bought for writing. Some other people for painting, for example. That means what? First, I need what? Marker. So where this marker is available in supermarket, first I have to bring what? I have to bring the marker from the supermarket. If I want to bring this marker from the supermarket, it has to be available. Okay, so if it is available, I will bring that marker to my home and I will do whatever the task I want. But if it is not available, how can I use it? So our Python is having a huge library. Remember this point. This is the reason why all the programmers are learning and using this Python programming language. This is the main reason I can say that. Okay, so this is about what? These are the features of our Python. So now let us go to implementations of Python. Different ways are there. What we can say, implementations of Python. We can also say different flavors. Some people will call it as a different flavors. Okay, or you can keep you, or you cannot keep you. Don't worry about those mistakes. Right. Anyway, now implementations of very standard Python is what? C Python. Whatever the generally we will use, that Python is what? C Python. So it is generally, if you want to use any Python for C language, we are going for C Python, C language applications. Okay, so one is C Python. Next, already we have talked about J Python. That is a Jython. That's okay. I will write J Python, or it is named as Jython also. Okay, generally we have to keep this one as capital J. Okay, Jython. This is for what? Generally, this is used for Java related applications. Okay, this is for Java applications. Generally, I told you in before example that our code can be sent to what I can say. I can also implement Java code, but who will execute this Java Jython? There Java will, JVM will execute. You have to understand that JVM will execute this program. Okay, it can understand both the Python code and Java code. JVM can understand, because I'm installing what? Jython. So it is for what? Java applications. Next, if you go for PyPy, very important word. Remember, you have to remember this word, PyPy. So this PyPy is nothing but what? Python only. But if you want to increase the speed, okay, if you want to increase the speed of our Python, normally I am using what? Standard version is what? Standard Python is C Python. But here one disadvantage is there in C Python. That is what? Our C Python is, what can I say? Only here we are having interpreter. Okay, interpreter is there. But so interpreter does what? Generally in our C Python only interpreter is there. You have to understand this word. Interpreter means it will execute line by line. Interpreter executes line by line execution. So it will take so much time. One small disadvantage is there our Python, that is what? Execution will be slow because we are having only interpreter. It will execute line by line. So if you want to increase the speed of our Python programming language, then go to PyPy. There we are having a compiler called as JIT compiler. So here generally compiler is going to compile a group of code. So if we go to PyPy, there we are having a JIT compiler. So whatever the code we require group of code. For example, if there is a for loop is there. So for example, for loop, I'm telling in Java because we have not started in Python. So a group of code is present in for loop. So 100 lines are there. So this 100 lines will be taken care by JIT compiler. And there is only one print statement is there. For example, this print statement will be taken care by interpreter. Okay, that means whatever the statement group of statements are there, repeatedly we are going to do, that will be taken care by JIT compiler. And whatever the single statements are there, that will be taken care by interpreter. So that means what? If you want to increase the speed of our Python, C Python, we can go to py. Next we are having a iron Python. So the names are somewhat different here. The iron Python is nothing but for C#.NET, I think .NET framework. So if you want to work with .NET framework, I can go for iron Python. Next Ruby Python also there. Ruby programming is there. So for Ruby applications we can we can go for Ruby Python. Okay. Next for Ruby applications, if we are going to, so many of you I think here that Anaconda Python. So generally when we will go for Anaconda Python means if you are having a huge applications where large scale applications, or we can say that where we require big data. Okay, for example, we can also consider big data or data science, because here we require so much of data. So or we can also sometimes consider machine learning applications. Okay, if we go to these different type of areas, there we require a version of Python, that is what, or a implementation of Python, that is Anaconda Python we require. So in some cases we require like stackless one is there, stackless Python. The stackless Python is for concurrency, that means multi-threading. We are going to use for multi-threading concept, we are going to use stackless Python. Okay, next if we go to micro Python is also there for microcontrollers. Okay, so these are this is for what? Micro controllers, right? These are the different type of, there are some other versions also there, but I don't want to discuss those things. These are the important things. Those are what? C Python, next Jython, PyPy, Iron Python, Ruby Python, Anaconda, stackless, and also micro Python. So here generally standard version of Python is what? C Python. Whatever we are using is what? C Python. We will not see about all these things, just you have to remember the names, that's it. We are mainly focusing on this C Python only, which is our standard Python. So these are the different type of flavors, or we can say implementations of the Python. So lastly I want to discuss about disadvantages. So till now we have seen features where we have seen many advantages. What are the advantages? It is portable, it is platform independent, it is having extensive library, it is having what can I say, it is a high level programming. All these can be considered as a advantages of our Python. Now I want to discuss about disadvantages. Okay, so disadvantages, as our Python is having only interpreter, time to execute it takes, or we can say that speed is very low or less speed, we can consider it as a less speed. If automatically to execute a program, if it takes less speed, automatical time is going to be what? Time increases. Automatical time increases, performance is going to be decreased. This is one of the disadvantage. Why it is going to be happen? Reason is what? It is having only interpreter, that is the reason speed is somewhat less when compared to C and C++ language. One other reason also I want to tell that here, if we consider C and C++, those languages are close to hardware, or close to hardware. Okay, right, that is the reason Just remember one point, that by using this Python, it is very slow when compared to other programming languages. Next one is for developing mobile applications. Generally we can develop, but it is not going to give high performance. So for developing applications, it is not going to give high performance. We can use, but it is not a good programming for that mobile applications. And next, if we consider memory consumption, very important point, this is very important disadvantage here. Memory consumption is very high. So reason I will show you. See, these are the three disadvantages we can see about this Python. One is what? Low speed or less speed. The time is going to be taken more for executing a Python program. Next one is what? Mobile applications. So we can develop mobile applications, but it is not a good programming for develop mobile application. So we can say that it is a weak programming language for mobile computing or mobile applications. Next, we can say for memory consumption. So here, in the case of memory consumption, it is, I will show you that example just in few seconds. Let's see here. I'm going to take a value as 10. Now, what is the type of a here? Okay, I will show the size also here. Import one function is there. I will show the size. Sys dot get size of a function is there. Get size of, what is the name? A. See, what is the size of a here? 14. That means what? When I'm going to type a equal to 10, it is going to create the size of a is what? 14. Now same a, I am going to change it to some large number, for example. Now I want to see the size of a. Now see, it is 16. That means what? Here it is not fixed. But when compared to when in C and C++ and Java, if I am going to write int a equal to 10, that a, the size of a will be always 4 bytes. But here based on the value, it is going to change. So see, here I am going to use what? For example, Shiva I am going to use. It is a string type. So if you want to see the type also, we can see here type a class, that is what? String type. So here if I want to see now size here, what is the size? It is 29. That means what? Here it is somewhat difficult to manage the memory here, because it is not a static thing. Okay, generally we are going to change the type regularly because it's a dynamic programming language. So due to this flexibility of data types, Python memory consumes very high. Okay, consumption of memory will be very high. So these are the three disadvantages we can identify in Python. So one is what? It takes a more time for execution. Next, for a mobile applications, it is not a suitable language, but we can do it, but it is not a suitable. Performance will be very low. Now next one is memory consumption. Okay, so these are the three disadvantages, and today we have seen about what? Features of Python. Next one is what? Disadvantages and also flavors of Python. So in next class we will see about we will start the programming language. So basically next class, comments, indentation, identifiers, keywords we will see in next session. Okay, thank you.